Hello everybody and welcome to the Minecraft Disney server series. This is the series in which I explore all sorts of Minecraft servers on the internet, dedicated in whole or in part to recreating the Disney parks around the world. Today we're visiting the Hyperion Parks, which is a recreation of Disneyland Paris, previously known as Euro Disney. And as you can see by the sign here, they're expanding the Walt Disney Studios, sort of the Paris version of Hollywood Studios. And based on their website, if the teasers I'm seeing are accurate, it looks like they're going to be working on Shanghai Disneyland as well, which is pretty exciting. So let's go ahead and turn on our HUD here and start exploring the parks a bit. So we've got a ride menu. It lets you warp directly to different rides in the park, or it'll let you warp to different areas. So let's go ahead and go to Main Street here. Like many other servers we've been exploring over these past few weeks, this park has a audio server, which is basically an in-browser window that you can load up that will play park music and ride music while you're walking around in the game, and it changes based on where you are in the game. It's a really cool plugin and goes a really, really long way in terms of adding to immersion. What this one does differently than other servers I've seen is it has a separate music track and a separate sound effect track, and it's got volume controls for each. And what makes that really cool is you can sort of layer them on top of each other and use them to make a more seamless transition. For instance, I was on Pirates of the Caribbean earlier. I'm not using the plugin now, but when I was playing earlier, I was. It had the cue music playing in the background, and then when I got into the boat, it started playing the safety spiel over that music. So there wasn't a harsh change from one track to the other. It just started playing the next one, and then while it was playing that, it changed the ride music in the background. So, you know, it's just like a very minor technical thing to do, but it went a long way in making it feel more seamless and making it more immersive. The park also has things like the glowing ears that you can wear that I believe sync up with the shows that go on there. It's got an autograph book for meeting characters. It's got balloons that you can buy and walk around with. We're going to go to Discoveryland here. And it's got a magic band right here. And the magic band will have access to your backpack, to your PhotoPass Plus, to your Hyperion Plus online, to bookings, and giving you settings to vanish players. Now, I just sort of skimmed over it, but I think this is probably the coolest thing that I haven't seen in another server do, is that this has a photo pass. This has a system to take photos while you're on attractions. We're walking over to the Space Mountain attraction. Of course, this one's a little different than all of the other Space Mountains around the world. This has more of a Jules Verne feel to it, and the reason for that being that this is Europe. Europe didn't have the same sci-fi, history that the United States has. Tomorrowland was very much based on sort of the old style of sci-fi in the US, the sort of Jetson style, and in Europe that wasn't really as much of a thing, whereas they did have Jules Verne and they had sort of that steampunk style of science fiction. So that's why this Discoveryland, or this Discovery space, is a lot closer to what would like resonate with them. Whoop, I'm going the wrong way. Whoops. So here are your ride photos. Now it's weird. It says the ride photo system's currently offline, but that is my alt skin, and I'm assuming that's how this works. So we're gonna go on a couple of rides. We're gonna explore it a bit and see what it's like. I've only ridden a couple. I want to see some more. I know I've been doing a lot of videos where I've already know what the park's like when I'm exploring it. I want to do a few where, I'm just sort of walking around and exploring it as I'm recording. Now, like I said, the audio server makes this a very different experience, so I highly suggest if you have Minecraft for the PC or the Mac, you go ahead and check out the server. I keep it off for editing reasons, but it really, really is a major difference when you're riding some of these attractions. Now, let's walk up the queue here. It's always weird. Normally I could tell if I'm going the right way or not, but having never been on this attraction before, I don't know if this is the right way. I'm going to, yep, here we go. Okay. So we'll walk that over. We right click. It'll give us a rocket. It puts us in there automatically, and we're going to go have fun. Now, as you can see, I have a balance on the side there. From what I can tell, walking around, riding rides, just being on the server, you sort of idly earn coins, which you can then spend on things like the ears or the balloons. The server also offers a creative server, which is pretty cool. As you can see, people in the chat talking right now, there's a creative server going on. I believe they also have a park that is Disney inspired, but not based on an actual Disney park itself. It's just sort of Disney properties, but custom rides. So that's pretty cool. And here we go. Now, this is an interesting Space Mountain because I believe it has a loop in it, and it also has that launch at the beginning, sort of like you're being fired out of a cannon, because it's based on, you know, loosely on Jules Verne's A Trip to the Moon, where people get to the moon by getting shot out of a giant cannon. Yep, there's the loop, and we're over. I love riding the Space Mountains on all these servers. I feel like it's a great test of, you know, how good the server is how well they can do a Space Mountain. You know, how they deal with the fact that you've got stars. I like that this server both uses buttons on all of the wool, but they also do use the particle effects to add to the stars. It's interesting. How do you light something that's supposed to be a dark ride, but you're still supposed to be able to see detail? You know, this sort of has a great balance in between. Now, there's stuff like this that happens. I don't really know what this is because I've never been on the ride, and I don't want to watch a ride through in case I ever visit one day. And there we go. So now I could just exit the ride. I think it's down here. And like most Disney rides, you then get to look at your photos. Boom. That one would be me. And buy them. Although I don't think you have to buy them here. I think you just get the photos, which is pretty cool. Let's check out another attraction. Phantom Manor. Ooh, their version of the Haunted Mansion. Again, another attraction I've never really been on, so I'm not going to be able to comment as to how accurate it is. But, you know, that's sort of the fun of a server like this, is I get to experience something like Phantom Manor without having to go all the way over to Paris. Although I'd love to go sometime. It's on my list. I think honestly my list is to try and do Shanghai Disney first. Then, you know, it's a toss up between Disneyland Paris or like Tokyo Disneyland. Ah, here we go. Now, one thing I've noticed a lot of servers start to do more and more over the years, and I actually like it. You know, originally there was like this really strict dedication to trying to make it a one-to-one recreation in terms of everything being there where it should be, which means like building the actual ride buildings in the size that you need to and then putting it in the park where it should be. But I've noticed what servers have started to do is they have these, you know, they use the idea of warping elsewhere or seamlessly warping from one place to another to sort of put the facade of the ride in the park and then warp to another place that has more space to work with. And I like that. I think at the end of the day, it's not a challenge to try and make, you know, this one-to-one recreation perfectly as much as it is to more perfectly create the experience of being at Disney. And if that means taking up a little more space to build a more detailed attraction and using warps to put it elsewhere, I say go for it. Seeing a lot of cool details here. We got the doors opening. Oh, is this the shadow? Oh, is this the piano player shadow? Oh, that's really, really awesome. Look at that. I'm digging these effects. I'm gonna definitely, when I'm not recording, ride through some of these again with the audio server on, because I can only imagine. Oh, look at that. You've got the clocks. Oh, this is so cool. And the last attraction we're going to check out here really quickly is Alice's Curious Labyrinth. It's a walk-through maze attraction. Mazes, I mean, in Minecraft, it's one of the few things I really, really enjoy. Although I'm not necessarily good at it. This will be the difference between, like a 5 to 10 minute video and, you know, a video that never ends. So let's see if we could get ourselves out here. Oh, nope, it's a loop right there. Okay, do I trust these signs? I don't think I want to trust the signs. I just got to go with where my heart's taking me. Luckily, this labyrinth... Ooh, is it in the process of being built? Oh, that's awesome if true. Also scary, because I don't know if that means there's going to be an actual exit or not. Oh, look at this. We're all down here. How do I get out? Where do I go? I wonder how Disney measures like the guest throughput of an attraction like this, where it's really based on how fast they're moving. You know, Disney originally had a lot of walkthrough plans for attractions, and they eventually scrapped them for the very reason that like you couldn't really force somebody to move at a certain speed. Things like the Haunted Mansion were originally going to be walkthrough museums. And then they eventually were replaced with the Omni-Mover system. That way you can control exactly how many people are going through the attraction. But this sort of gives you freedom. I guess as a maze, you kind of need it. You can go up here. Oh, look at that. You can see how lost we are. Up, up, up. Now, is this like the we did it? Oh, yeah, the exit. We did it. All right. Oof. We made it. So there you have it, a very brief look at a really, really cool server, Hyperion Parks. If you're like me and never was able to make it out to Paris and check out Disneyland Paris, this is a cool way to experience it before you do. Obviously, they're expanding with the new park opening on the 15th of July. It looks like they're going to be working on Shanghai Disneyland, so it's not going to be just Paris. And then they have things like their own creative server. If you want to know more about the server, you can check it out over at HyperionParks.com. And if you want to connect directly in Minecraft, their IP is mc.HyperionParks.com. All you need is Minecraft for the PC or Mac. I believe they're supporting 1.9 and 1.8 at this point. Thank you all for watching. If you have a suggestion for a server that you'd like me to visit and check out, all you have to do is let me know in the comments below. The only rules I am sticking to are that it has to have Disney recreation involved somehow, and it has to be open to the public so that, you know, people could hop on and visit it. You can let me know in the comments below. You could also let me know on Twitter. I'm at RobPlays. And if you want to see more of these great Minecraft Disney recreations, all you have to do is hit that subscribe button. You'll get 3 videos in your inbox a week. Whatever you're doing this week, I hope you make the most of it because it makes it that much better. And I hope to see you next time for the next episode of Minecraft Disney Servers. Bye, everybody.
I would just like to point out that I was taking photos in that spot with sombreros decades before Donald Duck was. They took that idea from me.
You're such a hipster.
I am owed money. They should pay me for that idea.
You're such a hipster.